Oh, hey Internet. So this week I've been playing Ninja Gaiden 3 and not making a complete ass of myself. Ninja Gaiden 3 is a ninja game, if you couldn't tell from the ninja part of its name. It's actually the third one, which isn't actually true because there's actually like a bunch of them. I don't know, it's a game that's been around since like the Nintendo Entertainment System. It's gone through some reboots and whatnot, and it's sort of changed hands. It's the same team working on it, but a lot of the lead people have left. So it's kind of a reimagining of the franchise in some ways, but is it any good? Well, here's my opinion from Ninja Gaiden 3. Ninja Gaiden is a game series that's been around for a long time, but kind of disappeared for a while after the Super Nintendo. That is until eccentric video game designer and Tommy Wiseau lookalike Tomonobu Itagaki came around and decided to make a new one for the Xbox. And like a lot of people, this was my first entry into the Ninja Gaiden series. Ninja Gaiden for the Xbox was notorious for being extremely difficult and also pushing the Xbox graphics to their fullest capabilities. With incredibly detailed background and really awesome designs for the bosses and the enemies, as well as other graphical improvements, Ninja Gaiden really stood out as one of the premier games of the Xbox generation. So here we are with another Ninja Gaiden game, but not an Itagaki Ninja Gaiden game. So how does this game stack up without its crazy, eccentric Japanese leader behind it? Well, let's just say they've made some slight changes to the Ninja Gaiden formula. The story from the Ninja Gaiden games are usually, hey, you're Ryo Hayabusa, this awesome ninja, and there's some evil thing, go kill them all. But this time around, the story is, hey, you're Ryo Hayabusa, this awesome ninja, and there's some evil thing, why don't you go kill it? Oh, by the way, you're a murderer. A lot of the through line of the story is that although Ryo Hayabusa does do a lot of good, he does it by murdering people, thousands and thousands of people, and that's kind of weird and maybe not good. The game opens up with Ryu being cursed with the grip of murder, which infects his arm and makes him feel the pain of all the victims that he's taken. And throughout the game, when you're going around slicing dudes apart and being all awesome, occasionally it will overcome you, and you will have to like fight through the pain of, your cursed arm while you also slaughter people. Overall, the cursed storyline really gives the game sort of this extra dimension in its storytelling. It's less about go kill these things and boobs. Speaking of boobs, yeah, they're not really in this game. Ninja Gaiden, along with Dead or Alive being an Itagaki game, are full with heaving bosoms bouncing in just gravity-defying ways. But in this game, they've really toned down the amount of boobage in it, which the 13-year-old deep down inside of me is just so furious about. Ryu's female counterparts in the Ninja Gaiden series have always been known for their rather bountiful bosoms that are not very well covered, be they blonde bimbos in S&M outfits or 14-year-old ninja girls or, CIA agents. They're all very well endowed. This time around it feels like, I don't know, maybe it was cold out the days that they programmed this, so, they put on an extra coat. A lot of the female characters are, they cover up. They're a lot more modest. If the fact that this game is not filled with giant-breasted women gives you pause, then the violence might do so as well. That's not to say that Ninja Gaiden 3 is not violent. It's full of all the violence you would expect. You cut all the dudes to shreds and there's blood everywhere, but there is never any dismemberment. With the new Steel on Bone system, you will actually, press X repeatedly to cut through this dude, but you never see, anything separate. The guy always stays together at the end. So if you're expecting, decapitation and, get cutting off limbs and all that stuff, you're not going to get any of that. It still has all the, people screaming and blood squirting everywhere, but just no actual dismemberment. In terms of the gameplay, they've also toned things down quite considerably as well. Gone are the RPG elements of the previous two games. You no longer have a variety of weapons to choose from. You don't gain experience points to level up your different moves and learn different moves. You have your sword, and you have all the moves already, and you've got one magic attack that you can use when you build up, but essentially, you're as powerful at the beginning of the game as you are at the end. There's also a number of different boss battles that you would expect from a Ninja Gaiden game, but the boss battles are just kind of, a lot of the time, slice them until they're dead, and no longer they, avoid the giant will kill you in one shot attacks that you would expect. The game feels very stripped down. It took away a lot of the violence, it took away the sexuality, it took away the dismemberment, it took away the RPG stuff, the weapons, and just tried to focus everything on just this story and this very linear gameplay. The game is also full of quick time events and an annoying amount of times where you have to climb a rope or climb up a wall repeatedly with the left and right triggers. The game really does feel like a departure from the roots that Itagaki left behind into a different direction that is not fully realized. So, there you have it. Ninja Gaiden 3 is a fun game all around. It's not a unfun game. It's violent, it's got a lot of like blood spurting, but no actual dismemberment, which is, I guess people might be upset about, but you know, whatever. It's fun. I think it's tried to become a more grown-up, more adult story, and just, you know, tone down on the blood, tone down on the heaving bosoms, and I think because of that, it's kind of lost its identity a little. It feels a lot more like a generic action game. It feels a lot like it wants to be God of War, but it doesn't go as far as God of War, so I don't know. At the end of the day, it's a fun game that's got a lot going for it, but I don't think it's the strongest entry in the Ninja Gaiden series.